people don't seem to have any empathy for me. What about me? Bitch, what about you? Like, let's talk about Jamie Lynn Spears. So I listened to part 1 and part 2 of Call Her Daddy's special with Jamie Lynn, as well as the cancel Call Her Daddy following episode. Thoughts, I have many. Jamie Lynn had very few. If you didn't watch the interview, or if you didn't listen to the interview, here's the entire interview. It's Alex going, how did you feel when your sister did this? Jamie saying, I don't know. I was just a kid. That, I don't know, and I was just a kid, she must have said 1,010,000 times. Like, every single question. I remember Alex literally asked her, how did you find out about the conservatorship? And she was like, I knew as much as y'all. I can tell you for a fact that you knew more than me because you're related to her. How are you literally gonna insinuate? She was like, I knew as much as y'all. It was very frustrating because I felt that Jamie Lynn is taking this opportunity. So, okay, this is my read of Jamie Lynn from the interview, which was a lot of nothing. I found the entire interview to be a lot of Jamie Lynn saying, well, I don't know, and you know, and blah, 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 and I tried, and blah, 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 and it wasn't me, and just her and not being sure about something, and her basically trying to express that she felt that she lived in Britney's shadow. She felt nobody cared about her. And the thing is, that is valid. Like, of course, Jamie was raised by the same parents as Britney, and Britney's parents seem to be pretty abusive. So, of course, Jamie is also going to be abused. But the way she framed it as like kind of being Britney's fault, she told this story about Britney locking her in a room with a knife, and she put the knife in the drawer and said like, somebody's gonna kill us. And I think I was supposed to cry. Like, I just was like, yeah, I'm sure Britney was really scared for her life. And I'm sure that her and the chaos in her head would have affected you. But I still am gonna have more sympathy for Britney than you. Like, it felt very like I'm the true victim of this family. That's what it felt like to me. And it felt very like she read some text messages from Britney, and I guess it was supposed to prove her innocence, but I didn't really understand. Like, I was very confused why I was supposed to suddenly believe Jamie Lynn was a good person. The whole interview, she was basically saying, you know, I wish people cared about me too. And I was like, okay, that's valid, but given that your sister has been basically in prison within her own home and her own family for years, maybe let her talk about that first. That's what I would say, before you talk about how you feel that you didn't get enough attention. And I'm not saying that that's not completely valid. Like, everything that Jamie feels and is going through is obviously very important, but it just felt like the whole interview was very much like, nobody cares about how much I'm hurting as much as Britney because I'm not as famous as Britney. And she was like, you know, we're just a regular family, but we're famous, and that's what this did to us, but people don't seem to have any empathy for me. What about me? Bitch, what about you? Like, no offense, but the last thing you contributed to my life was Zoe 101. Yeah, I'm sorry I'm not keeping tabs on you the same way I'm keeping tabs on Miss Britney Spears. And if you want to whine about that, wait till your sister gets the mic first. It felt very like she was just trying to get the mic first so she could tell her side of the story first. I don't know. And I don't think she meant it to come off that way, but I also don't think she has nearly enough empathy for her sister and what being like literally imprisoned and not allowed to do things, not allowed to go where you want to go and see who you want to see and have control of your money. She's not taking into account what that probably does to a person's mind. And like the text she was reading, I was like, if I felt like I was in solitary confinement, I don't think any of the texts, the long texts that I send someone, are necessarily super representative of my fully well and healed self's thoughts. You know, and we see people on social media now talking about how more people need to talk about how Britney still needs help. So yeah, she probably needs some help. That doesn't give you the right to go on a podcast and like, I thought it was very strange of her to like read their text messages to the internet. It was just like, your sister's literally been in basically imprisoned by her father for years, and are you gonna come on a talk show and like just air out her dirty laundry? Who does that? And even just when she was telling the story, I was like, what you don't realize is that people are mad at you because in a lot of these situations, you seem to just kind of go with the status quo and be like, oh, well, I guess her lawyer's handling it. And you should have tried maybe a little bit harder. Yeah, there was instances where she tried that she talked about that I didn't know about, and that's great, but I still feel like she could have tried harder, because when she was talking about it, she didn't sound like traumatized by this whole experience. She sounded like she barely noticed until recently, and then she tried to do something. But it's just like, why were you so complacent with... She literally said, when I grew up, the conservatorship was all I had known. And I was like, yeah, but like, wouldn't you see that and be like, is my sister okay? I don't know. I mean, whatever. But the point is, it's not your turn to talk. And I don't know how I feel about Alex Cooper right now, because I understand why she took that opportunity. Like, obviously that's a golden opportunity. Let me get the golden interview with Lynn. But I don't know. Sometimes I feel like Alex lacks a little bit of integrity in order to get where she wants to go. And I understand it's like a big guest, it's a big opportunity, but is it the right thing to do? That being said, like, I did want to hear it, so that's why I can't be that mad at her, because I'm like, yeah, here's the thing, the fact that Alex did that episode, it is kind of quote unquote in bad taste, but it's also very interesting and compelling. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, it's kind of shady, but I am, of course, going to listen to the whole thing. So I guess that does make it good quality if you consider it. Like, because I listened to the next podcast called Cancel Call Her Daddy. She said it had like 1 billion impressions. So yeah, everybody and their dog listened to that podcast. Obviously. A lot of people probably listened to it because they thought it shouldn't have happened. But obviously people are going to listen to it. Like, that doesn't mean you should have done it, but it also does, again, mean that it was good content at the same time, even though it's also bad timing and in bad taste. So yeah, I'm on the fence with that one. But those are my thoughts on Lynn for now. I know she wrote a book. I don't want to read it. So if somebody else reads it, please reach out to me and let me know how it is. You got me? Thank you. Don't forget to like and subscribe, share this video. I'm trying to get to 10K by my birthday, which is February 21st in a month. Subscribe to my Patreon. I posted another essay on there today. And yeah, I think that's it. I will see you next time. Bye.